Hello, everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Hope you had a wonderful day. Boy, was it cold out there today. We talked about it on the morning show of just below temperatures. You never like to get in your car and see negative and insert number there. It just doesn't work out whatsoever. And if for those of you who got to stay inside today, yeah, you are lucky ones. Anybody who's outside, I hope you made it through the day today, as it's just bitterly cold, and that cold will continue on into the weekend from what I'm seeing. We need Valentine's Day to warm us all up. That's all I'm saying. That's my MO for getting warm, and hopefully those temperatures changing. So we got a really busy show for you today. We'll get you updated on the latest headlines. But before we do that, before I do that, I want to tell you what else is happening. We'll be talking with Fitchburg Fire Department and some hazmat training that took place over the weekend. We'll take you right inside all of the training going on there at the fire department. Super important to the fire department. Break that down coming up. Plus, we're going to be talking about gun violence in Dane County. A new video has come out, and a new partnership trying to find mentors in Dane County to help youth. We'll share that story with you coming up as well in our guest segment. But first, let's turn to the headlines, and we start from the Fitchburg Senior Center. Be healthy, be happy. Sounds good to me. February 12th. And this continues an ongoing series in partnership with UW-Madison. All programs will be offered via Zoom Fridays, 1 to 2:30 p.m. and will be facilitated by a medical student. The next one is on February 12th. It's depression discussion and screening. For the first hour, UW student will briefly discuss the common presentations of depression, followed by group discussion and coping mechanisms. You do need to register for these. You can do so at the Senior Center. Give them a call. They'd be happy to talk with you. All right, we got a public information meeting to tell you about road improvements on Lacey Road and Fitchrona Road to Seminole Highway. This public information meeting is slated for February 17th at 5:30 p.m. to discuss improvements of Lacey Road from Fitchrona Road to Seminole Highway. Online attendance is encouraged, but you can come out to the City Hall in person if you would like, with all full precautions. That location, if you don't know, City Hall's at 5520 Lacey Road. Stop on by and say, hey, and yeah, you can come in and join in on that meeting. All right, also want to talk about cold weather and crime prevention. Fitchburg Police Department sharing this, and it's a graphic we've seen before, but a good reminder here that Sunday morning, a car that had been left running to be warmed up with this frigid weather was stolen from the 2800 block of Big Blue Stream Parkway. Similar to thefts that occurred throughout the day in the city of Madison, please do not leave your car running unlocked and unattended to warm up, even if it's just for a few seconds. Yeah, thieves can come in and take those vehicles and never look back. So definitely something to keep an eye on. And if you do notice anything suspicious, please report it to the Fitchburg Police Department to help them in catching these thieves. All right, from the Better Business Bureau, we want to talk a little bit about cybersecurity resources to help businesses and consumers. We're always talking about ways to prevent cyber crimes, but this is always good refreshers here for you. So the importance of cybersecurity. Today's cyber criminals are increasingly sophisticated. I don't know if I want to call them that, but pose more significant threats to the economy than ever before. No safeguards are needed in the order to protect businesses, both small and large. You better have it. It doesn't matter what size company you are. You better have it. That's why the BBB cyber security program comes in. They're here to help. Yeah. They aim to help businesses better manage cyber attacks and learn from industry best practices by exploring the real and risks of cyber attacks, offering education and awareness, and building public trust in businesses through cybersecurity standards, which is all important. And the impacts, cybersecurity is not only about adding layers of security and technology. It starts with understanding about managing cybersecurity risks. The development of the 5-step approach from the Better Business Bureau's cybersecurity, they can help you get those models in place, including but not limited to understand how to best to identify and protect vital data and technology assets, learn to detect and respond to cyber security threats, and recover from cybersecurity incidences, which, yeah, there's a lot of them. And for businesses or consumers, we want you to report this stuff. You got to report it. That's the only way that we can catch these cybersecurity criminals. And that's through the Federal Trade Commission, or certainly you can call Wisconsin Department of Ag Trade and Consumer Protection. But you got to report it. That's the only way we'll catch those cyber crooks. They are crooks indeed. All right, take a quick break. Coming up next, we open up the digest, and we're going to take you out to some hazmat training happening right here at the Fitchburg Fire Department. You're not going to want to miss this. That's next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
Yeah, I know. Wait, yeah, you just look at that. It's so sad.
We scored?
Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what?
Yep, that's mine.
Kevin, I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg in the digest, and today we're taking you out to some training at the Fitchburg Fire Department. You ever wondered what happens in a hazmat response? Well, today some of our firefighters from Fitchburg had a chance to learn more about the processes and become trained in this specialty area.
So remember, job is to recon it. They're not 100% sure about workers. Okay, so we're going to recon it, and then you're going to mark your warm zone at 0.5 and then your hot zone at 10. If you can do an immediate fix the problem, and then just report back. Okay?
We're finishing up our last day, working on 40 hours of training for hazardous materials response. Specifically, we're training these folks to the technician level, which will allow them to enter what we would call the hot zone, or where a release is occurring, and mitigate the problem. Definitely a book component to the training to build a base of knowledge for the students, but also a very important part of the hands-on training. When the students leave the classroom, we want them to feel comfortable that they could operate at an actual hazardous materials incident. It can be a little overwhelming. It's a labor-intensive physical job, but at the same time, you need to have a good head on your shoulder, so you're looking around and processing the information that's being presented to you, and be able to take the appropriate action. We've brought chemical protective clothing that we work with the first day and get students comfortable wearing that. We bring air monitoring equipment with, so the students can use that to gather information that would help them protect the public, and also let them know when they've crossed a line where their protective equipment will not work for them any longer and they need to exit the area.
Okay, your meter says 0.5. What? Your meter says 0.5. Meter says 0.5? Yep.
We have simulators that will allow us to show the students different liquid and gas leaks, and we work on solutions to stop those leaks or those spills.
I think there's a number of reasons why we want to do training like this. I mean, we can talk about the didactic, we can talk about book learning, classroom learning, but until you actually apply these skills, some of those values, those concepts, are really not seated. So in order to actually get into the suits, identify the problems that you are likely to see when you actually respond, it's going to give us a better outcome from a training perspective. So it was important to bring people in that not only had the requisite knowledge, but it was also important to be able to have the equipment that they would likely see on this scene. I think another important thing to note is, although we might not have all of this equipment in the city of Fitchburg, it's important for us to know what the next steps are. So there's a couple of different layers as far as hazmat response goes: the awareness, the operational, and the technical. Right now they're going through technician level training, and not all departments are equipped to handle that training, but it's important for us to know what that application actually looks like, so that if we need it, we know who to call, and we can be of better assistance to those resources that come into our city.
All right, you're at 2 parts per million. 2. pH paper's turning red. You are getting hits.
We simulated a chlorine release in a well house, a water well house, with a person that was overcome by chemical fumes that they didn't know about heading into the incident. And they found the person and then had to react and redirect their resources to take care of that person and bring them to safety and get them medical care. All the while knowing that there still was an active chemical release going on inside that building that they would have to go back in and eventually take care of. Chemicals are prevalent all over the state of Wisconsin and really our country. And they're transported on the highway, over water and by rail. And unfortunately, every once in a while accidents will happen, and we need to be prepared to respond. Some of the common chemicals that fire departments will be put up against will be carbon monoxide, propane, ammonia, and chlorine, and then your things like gasoline and diesel fuel.
I think the important thing to note from a response standpoint is, regardless of the emergency, we are going to be there. If somebody's having a bad day, they dial 911, we are going to be there. We have to have some assembly of a response. So it may not be the overall need for the incident in order to bring it to conclusion, but we can at least then start the incident and do it in a way that makes sense, so that additional resources that are coming in don't have to redo what we've started. So it's important to start from that awareness, operational and technical level, and follow it in that order, and to identify where those resources are coming from and how much of a response liability you have locally. And that is primarily what we're trying to do right now, is give us enough skill to be able to respond to anything that we come in contact with, and to identify what those next steps are, so that we can hopefully bring the incident to a positive conclusion.
Yeah, the state has a tiered response system for hazardous materials. It starts at the local level with firefighters here in Fitchburg that go through training and are prepared to work at incidents. And as the incidents go beyond their resources or capabilities, they're able to work their way up to a tiered system to get to a larger fire department like Madison that can come and provide assistance.
Here's the thing, is when you train on something, you're more likely to see those things where they can be applied. So without training, sometimes you respond, you do things that ultimately get you by. What we're doing right now is we're allowing our firefighters to see what the actual application looks like, so that they're not just getting by, they're actually doing it in a way that is safer and in a way that makes the most sense to any other resources that are coming into the city. So, as far as the risk, we've done a risk assessment in this city. It's something that we continually do and something that I'm trying to improve our process on. But with development comes a number of different things. Development not only brings the potential of hazmat, I mean, you could have one ruptured gas line and now you're dealing with a hazmat incident. But we're also dealing with things like trench rescue, collapse rescue. I mean, we've had new construction in this city that has collapsed during the construction, because the two most vulnerable points of development and construction is, or a building's lifespan, is when the building is being constructed and when it's being demolished. And we're seeing that all the time in the city of Fitchburg. Not to mention trench. Anytime you dig a lateral, a water lateral, a gas lateral to a building, you're creating a trench. And we're seeing more and more where workers are actually working within a shore box or those types of things. It's not uncommon for somebody to make a mistake, work outside their shore box, and now they've got a collapse of the trench. Those are things that we need to be ready for. So everything that we're doing, are we an all-inclusive department? I think what we are is we're an all-hazards department that should know where our resources are, and then we need to work with our neighboring communities so that we have a regional response so that it doesn't overwhelm any one municipality. And I think that's a good explanation of what we're trying to do here and with our technical rescue training. So what makes a good firefighter, regardless of municipality, is one who is constantly learning their trade. That really goes for any occupation, but in firefighting, if you don't learn your trade, you could become seriously injured or worse. So what I'm trying to do is to identify exactly how important regular training is. And we've got a good group in the city of Fitchburg. I don't necessarily have to do a whole lot as the fire chief. We have people who are conscientious of the fact that regular training makes a better firefighter. A firefighter that is looking for answers instead of problems, or at least answers to the problems that we have, those are the types of firefighters that any fire department would be happy to have. So we're fortunate, we've got a good group here, a number of people who volunteered for this training, people who haven't had it in the past, and we're trying to take those that have actually volunteered for this training or are moving forward with this training to challenge the things that we're doing locally right now to make sure that we do have the best response, and if needed, what we need to change our response to address the changing environment that is consistent in emergency services.
Yeah, my message to the students that when we end that this is a beginning, it's not an end. There's all kinds of different chemicals that are out there, and all different types of protective equipment that we're going to be using. You have to continue to learn something new every day and work to perfect your craft, so when you arrive on the scene of an incident, you have skill.
The city of Fitchburg is a growing community. As it grows, services are obviously needed. We're fortunate enough to have a department that works with other city departments to make things happen. And we need to be aware of how a growing municipality impacts how we deliver our service and what is needed. So I'm grateful to be in a growing community, but at the same time, it presents its own set of challenges in order to keep up with the overall need and the overall vision for the fire department and for the city of Fitchburg.
All right, there you have it. As Joe mentioned, they'll continue to do more and more training, which is vital to the fire department and to firefighters. It's just awesome, the training that we have. And we're going to bring you more of these trainings coming up later this year. All right, we got to take a quick break. Coming up next, we're going to talk about gun violence in Dane County and a new mentor program that is starting up. That's next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. In the guest segment today, we'll be talking about gun violence in Dane County and a partnership with local law enforcement, Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, and so many more businesses partnering up to talk about gun violence and a new mentor program. And we wanted to introduce you to this great program.
Everybody's heard the term bullets don't have no names. That means anybody around you is a target.
And it doesn't matter your age, your race, it can happen to you.
With gun violence, no one wins. No one wins.
911, what's your emergency?
Shot. I need somebody right now. Please.
Call back, please. 15 seconds. Sir, that's just Kitty Candy in the corner.
How many lives have you seen lost so far in your life to gun violence?
Over 30. Over 30.
Karen Ron, if gun violence is largely driven by street gangs, and as the lifeblood of street gangs is narcotics, the design for police is smother the street sales, arrest the dealers on tougher federal charges if that's possible.
I think what causes, leads to some of the causes in the community, man, is the OGs, man, the people my age drop the ball. Then guide these young kids, A lot of these young kids can't fight, so they're gonna pick up a gun first.
And it's not okay to play with guns. It's not okay to shoot bullets. It's not okay. It will never be okay.
Gun violence, gang violence, any violence or negativity is not the answer, and change is possible.
And these young adults have to know that it's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel this pain, because that's what makes us want to fix it.
You can't defeat hatred with hatred.
You don't have to be consumed with what's going on around you. You don't have to be confined to a life of violence and gangs and drugs. And you don't have to be afraid to leave.
Because I thought you had to go to college, get all these degrees, and do this to get to that point. But he said, no, I never went to college. I just made a choice to do something better with my life.
If you apply your focus to your interests, you're not gonna have time for the extra. You're gonna see so much success with your interest and your focus. And it may not be monetary success, it may not be people in the community reaching out and patting you on the back, but you're gonna watch yourself build every day. And you're gonna look over and you're gonna see a solid foundation that you built from that shaky ground. And you're not gonna wanna go back.
We all have a purpose. Some find it out sooner than others, but we all have it. And I encourage everybody to seek their purpose.
There's more to it than, holding the pistol and pulling guns and pulling triggers and shooting folks.
One single action will change people's lives forever.
Is it worth it? I just did all that time. It wasn't easy. Is it worth it? You really want to throw your life away like that?
really need y'all to take heed. We have got to stop the gun violence. So many of our sons and daughters fall victim to gun violence. Mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers. This has got to stop. We have got to do better.
I've lived here my entire life, and in these 50 years, a lot has changed, but some things have stayed the same. Children of color in Dane County face adversity at much higher rates, and that's not fair. This means you are at a higher risk of criminal justice involvement. My hope is that we can build a mentorship program that will positively impact your future and prevent tragic outcomes. Guns don't solve problems, but with a mentor, you can work through them.
As someone that grew up in a neighborhood that was infested with gangs, drugs, and prostitution, I can tell you, I am someone firsthand that benefited from a mentor. If you are a young person looking for a mentor, visit this link. If you are an adult looking to mentor a young person, visit this link. If you find the right mentor, it will change your life for years and years to come. Today can be the day that you can utilize your life to change the life of somebody else.
All right, there you have it. More resources are available through the Fitchburg Police Department. You can check on their website for those details. We're going to take a quick break, wrap up the show next. Watching TF.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. Use a delivery service for essential items like food and medicine. If you must make essential trips, stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wear a cloth face covering and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg, wrapping up the show for the day. I want to thank the Fitchburg Fire Department for inviting us out to share the story of that hazmat training. Like I said, we'll be bringing you more trainings that they'll be taking part in coming up later this year. As we do wrap up for the day, I want to remind you to stay connected with FACT TV. It's fast, fun, free, and Andrew's favorite line, we just want you to join in. Yeah, if you haven't found us on Facebook or YouTube, you need to like the page. And of course, you can watch not just on cable TV, folks. We're on Apple TV and Roku. That's pretty serious. And until tomorrow, stay warm out there and looking forward to having you back on tomorrow's show. Have a great day.